Hey y'all, it's Michelle, your Fancy Farm Girl Realtor here. I know that we have been poking a little bit of fun at Rockville and the HOA there, and I thought it would be a really good idea to spend a couple minutes and talk with you about what an HOA is and what are some of the possible pros and cons that you could find within an HOA. What is an HOA? An HOA is basically a governing body over a planned community. It is responsible for overseeing the quality of life within the neighborhood, as well as enforcing the bylaws and CCRs, the covenants, conditions, and restrictions in the community. So they're basically the overseers of the neighborhood. What are some of the pros that you might encounter with an HOA? Generally speaking, and this is going to vary by community, but there are going to be some amenities that are involved with it. Maybe there's a pool, maybe there's tennis courts or a community clubhouse that you can use. There are walking trails as a possibility. There's just a lot of different things that they can do to enhance the community for you. Another pro would be that the maintenance cost of all of those things is going to be shared amongst all of the homeowners. So all of you are going to pay into the Homeowners Association, and then that money is going to get used to maintain the things like the pool or the tennis courts or the walking trails. So you don't have to pay for those things directly. You're not bearing the burden of any of that responsibility, nor do you have to find the people to hire and to do it. So that's all taken care of through the HOA. The third thing, and I think this is probably one of the biggest things, is that your home value is going to be maintained. The community is going to be kept up so that you don't have to worry about like your neighbors bringing down your property value, and that's a huge, huge plus. Okay, so then what are some of the perceived negatives regarding an HOA? So first and foremost, there is money involved. You are going to have to pay fees for the use of all of the amenities and the maintenance of all of the amenities that we've already talked about. These are going to vary by community, so you're going to want to really pay attention to how much you're paying and what you're getting for that money. So the second thing is rules and bylaws. So if you're the type of person who doesn't want anybody telling you what you can do with your house, you are probably not going to like an HOA. But those rules and bylaws are there to protect you and to protect your property's value and the value of all of your neighbors as well. So there may be rules that tell you that you can't let your grass grow longer than so high, or that you can't plant a vegetable garden in your front yard, or the number of cars that you can keep in the driveway overnight, maybe what color you can or can't paint the house. So there's going to be a lot of rules. You're going to want to dig into those and make sure that you understand them as well. Then the third thing that I want to touch on is in regards to what's called special assessments. So this takes us back to the money part in the beginning there. What can happen is if there is not enough money in the HOA fund to implement something that needs to be taken care of. Maybe the pool needs some major maintenance. Maybe they need to revamp some waterway type of thing or something. So when that type of stuff creeps up and there's not enough money, they can come back and give you a special assessment that you have to pay in. So that can be an unplanned expense that can really throw you for a loop. So kind of take that into consideration as you're thinking about HOAs and what you can afford and can't afford. Okay, so my advice when it comes to HOAs is to make sure that you fully understand what you're getting yourself into. You want to make sure that you completely read the CCRs before the end of your due diligence period so that you accept and agree with them. And then the second thing is to make sure that you fully understand what the cost of it is. So sometimes it might say things like your HOA fees are $200. Well, is that $200 a month or $200 a year? There's a dramatic difference there. So you really want to make sure that you have clarity on what that is. So I hope that this was helpful and that you've learned a little something. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out anytime.